your higher self does want you to get there, and I'm holding so much space for you, because honestly, this is how I was feeling in, I don't know if it was January or February. It's all a blur because when my Nana passed away, but I think I'm almost positive that it was before she passed away. When I found Carol, and when I started back working with MRT, but I will say there is no manual. Those resources I shared with you, I would say go through there. Her content is so useful when it comes to wound healing. I went back all the way across her entire feed from like really far back. And I saved all the posts that were around all the types of wound healings. So when meditating or sitting with things, I'll say I've been called to Kundalini lately. I'm called to mention that to you. There's so much free stuff on YouTube. It came through strong. There's no one to hire. There's no currency needed for this healing. And ultimately, I think that's why you don't have the currency to invest in these types of things right now, because you're totally being stripped of currency until you see that you're resourced in some ways, and you know how resourced you are in some ways, but then it's also, when it's like coming to apply it to self, it seems like there is this like disagreement, whether it be subconscious or conscious, that it's like, well, that won't work for me. That's just what I do and share with others, and that's not for me. I'm meant to do it differently, or someone else has a different manual for me. And it's not that at all. Like, you are the manual. You are meant to get yourself through this hump before you can continue to connect with higher levels of higher self, or even work with healers of healer, or really just anybody. And ultimately, I think that the Cambo training would take you to a place that your Cambo training is meant for that higher version self of you, and which is why it has also kept pulling off. And it's bringing you to a level that would have felt like really invasive and almost insulting or violating, that's the word, if it would have happened prior. And so, like, there's no rush, rhyme, or reason, or like timeline to any of this stuff. And like, I know that it sucks, like, when seeing people any step ahead, like, and it's not even really a step ahead, it's on their own journey. Like, we're all on separate journeys. We're all gonna absorb knowledge and channel knowledge and do the things at different levels. And some people are meant to be healers of healers, and some people are meant to be shamans, and some people are meant to just help people heal to a certain level, to when then they transition to working with healers of healers. A lot of times whenever I get like channelings around our connections or collaborations, sometimes that's where it comes from, is once clients even within your world get to a certain level, and I'm just using you as an example, but when clients get into other healers' worlds and they get them to a certain level, and then it's almost like the energy is stuck and stagnant, or moving but not moving as it was, then it's almost like that level of healing can be supportive, but then like, hey, let's go. What are you meant for? A healer of healer, a shaman, like a priestess, guru, like whatever you want to call it. I've been feeling called to some priestess energies, but as a healer of healer, and it's very interesting in noticing these different levels of energy. And like, we're not all meant to learn the same way. That's what's wrong with, modern day education, or just education as a whole. And we all absorb things differently. Our journeys are all differently. And I know you know this. I'm not like saying that because you don't. And I'm also like, projectors are just highly knowledgeable and always learning, and always absorbing on a different level, in a very small percentage of the world. And so there's a lot that plays into these things, and it's not just like the energy bits of it, but it's also like some of it, while I don't think it has everything to do with it, and I don't like say, oh, that it's this way because I'm a projector, or it's this way because I am a Scorpio, but like I do have many things within my charts, all of them, that are teacher, leader, healer, source, and that bring this absorbent energy and channeling energy and things of that nature into my realm. And like, we all have it in our own ways. It's just how we tap into it and how powerful it is in other ways. But like, you're meant to heal in your own way and a different way, and it doesn't always require guidance or a manual. And it seems almost like the build a business in a box, it's almost like build a soul in a box. And like, I know it's not fully, like, I know you're not consciously intending for it that way, but it's almost like that's what you're desiring in order to do this work. And it's not that. It's more about just sitting with yourself. And like, I know you sit with yourself and you ask yourself every day, but not from a place of desperation or like, why, or oh, I gotta do this, and like, no like frustration or bitterness or desperation or obligation energy tied in it, but like truly like open and surrendering. And then ask guides, source, with not specific, because you're not that specific, you're a less specific manifester, but specifics of what wound to receive guidance on and what you're meant to do in healing of that. And that doesn't mean that it drops in right then during that meditation. It may drop in and sitting with yourself 2-3 days later. It may pop in while you're in the shower. It may pop in while you're out with Diva. It may pop in while you're at a freaking bar, like socializing with friends, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta make a note of this. So there is no how to find here. And no currency needed, no support and guidance needed. In fact, I get the sense that once you receive the guidance and integrate this step, not tooting my own horn or any of that nature, but we are the next. Our work together in Healer of Healers in this current moment, this may change after you make these shifts, would be the next steps in working together. And it's almost like that goes in cohesion prior to Cambo starting, or as Cambo facilitator training is starting. It's almost like right before or together is like the next phase, but I'm here to support you in whatever way, shape, or form that I can, and always hold space. And even if we're called to just like, when we get on the call, to like drop in and meditate for 10 minutes, or do some Kundalini for 10 minutes, or some breath work, or somatic movement, just so that energies can support. I'm totally open to that. Always. I do this with a lot of my friends. Sometimes we just get on calls just to meditate 10-15 minutes and love you, see you later, bye. And that's that. But yeah, you're not doing anything wrong, and there's not really any how or manual to this. And I can see where what we've talked about that seems safe and useful, but it's not in this instant. And I think it's to pull you into feeling safe with total allowing, surrender, flow, faith. And the more that you do it, you always have these quantum leaps and like big aha moments. And I don't know if anything like pulls you back at all, or if there's just like a wall, not like a wall, but just kind of like a new level of healing is met. And because in today's call, it was like my level of healed that I'm always talking about, it just brought so much clarity to it, because I'm seeing my clients healed. I'm holding that vision, and not even just my clients, like my friends, my family. I'm holding that vision for them, and I'm not to do anything about it but hold the vision, and they'll meet that frequency. And so, and that's that level of healed. Like, I'm seeing them healed. I'm not seeing anyone as the client, the friend, the partner that is like a victim, the trauma, this, like that, like any of that. Like, I'm not seeing any of that, and I'm not even looking for it. I'm only focused on the healed. And so maybe whenever you're setting intention and asking for guidance, it's not about what do I need to heal. It's about what within the mother womb leads me to healed. What within my healed self, body, mind, spirit, energy bodies, comes through for me in guidance that is useful now. Anyways, I hope that is useful and supportive. I know it's not like much bullet pointed guidance, but I gave some links for Vika's posts. I've been most attracted to her when it comes to wound healing, and I was also called to share with you the Stuckness Waterfall RRT release and Reclaim Your Womb, and then Reiki for heart walls and cellular healing and Reclaim Your Womb. may be useful for you. And if they don't play for whatever reason, let me know. It should still play until the 27th, but everything will be moving to YouTube after June. So, but for now, it's all in podcast. But I'm sending you love, and I'm holding you space. I'm holding space for you. I'm holding you as well in this space. But yeah.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with more transmissions, Reiki music, and rapid resolution therapy hypnosis. Connect with Jack on the Aura app for daily inspiration and healing. Invest in yourself inside Reclaimed for monthly energetic support on your journey. Ready to dive deeper? Apply to Healer of Healers and transform your life in ways you never imagined. Align your life without doing more. We will connect soon.